I've been having some conversations actually with some private equity firms. Being a CRM, it makes sense for us to have relationships with them. And it was really interesting them talking about, because most of the time private equity wants to come into a business with recurring revenue. They're really attracted to recurring revenue models. Yep. And so the question came up, okay, why roofing when roofing is not a recurring model, unless you're talking about commercial. And even then, like the relative, like you'll get some revenue, but it's tiny compared to the revenue from the actual roof. Yep. And what I've been hearing was they view roofing as a recurring revenue business. It's just that they view it as a recurring revenue business over a 15 or 20 year period, or depending on the market, it could be a 5, 10, 15 year period or 20 year period. But like you have to replace that roof. So it's not like you just have an option. You don't have to, you replace it once and then you never replace it again. You are going to have to, that homeowner is going to have to replace that roof on a set schedule. And so it is actually recurring. If you want it to be closer to a monthly, then or for the customer, then you can finance it. That's essentially turning it into a subscription when you finance a roof. But as the roofer, even when you finance it, you get the benefit. It's actually like a enhanced recurring, because not only is it recurring, but you're getting the revenue up front. So it's actually, in a way, it's even better than what you think of like HVAC or these other more recurring models, right? Because it not only is it recurring, but you're front loading all that revenue. And that's one of the things that makes roofing so attractive in general, is that you're front loading so much revenue. You sell one job, that can be a $30,000 revenue job. So it's a lot. And then that you can put some of that money back into marketing. So many businesses, like for example, on the software side, it's the opposite. We have to work with someone for years and years and years in order to see the value of that relationship fully. Right. And so it was kind of a reframe in my mind of the roofing business model in general, realizing that it is actually recurring. It's just not the way you normally think of recurring revenue.
Yeah. Well, and that's the whole reason I've always tried to figure out a maintenance program, is because I always wanted to be the next. My best friend always owned a mowing and landscaping business, and like I always was so jealous, because once he got his customers and his map set out for a weekly schedule, that was just his schedule every week. He didn't have to go find new customers. Yeah. Every once in a while, somebody get pissed and you have to go replace that one customer. But, I mean, that's not a real common thing. You do your job, right? You got happy customers. You just keep working for them all year. You want to grow next year. You find more customers. You put another crew to work. Now you're doing twice as much volume. I always tried to figure that out, and I think that's a great example, a great way to put it, that we are in some sort of a recurring revenue business. It just needs to be looked at a little bit differently.
Yeah. And if you think about, that's why it's so impactful as a roofing business to have a powerful brand and community awareness, because that is literally what makes you a recurring business, is because you need them to replace the roof, and then if a storm comes through, you need to be the first company they call when they need the roof replaced again. Or if it goes the full lifetime, ideally you're still the brand in the market and they use you again. That may take 10 to 15 years, but I think that's these private equity companies buying roofing businesses, that's their bet. It's like, this company's been in business for 10 to 15 years. If they have a good enough brand, we're going to get all the same people they worked with back in the day. We're over the next 10 years going to get that back. Yeah. And so that's, I think, the bet on the value of the business is on them being, established in the market and being able to continue to like rely on that over time.